Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Movies and Brews. Today we are going to be talking about The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Let's go. Okay, so Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. The third installment in the Conjuring film series. There's been a ton of spin-offs, the three Annabelle movies, The Nun. I think Curse of La Llorona was supposed to be involved in this universe somehow. But yeah, very successful film franchise. Really the first kind of like shared horror cinematic universe we've had, at least in the modern era. The first successful one at that. Or at least I was a huge fan of the first Conjuring film. I absolutely adore that movie. It's one of my top five favorite horror movies of all time. I think that was just a masterful execution of a horror film. The second one, if you remember my older review, I liked, but there was some things in it that it seems like one of those movies where you could tell that the franchise was kind of headed in the wrong direction, or at least that's how I saw it. There was a little bit of some outlandish things going on, which is kind of stupid for me to say a movie with subject matter like this, but you get what I mean. Getting into it, I don't want to get into any spoilers. I did like this movie, but just barely. There is a lot in it that just did not work for me. We'll start with the positives. Uh, Ed and Lorraine Warren, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, continue to kill it. They are the heart and soul of these movies. Their relationship really it gets to shine a lot more in this movie than it has in the past. It is very much their movie. The possessed will refer to them as in this movie. They are a focus, but not the main focus, as in the past two films, they kind of focused on the family. It was more of a balance between the families and the Warrens. This time, it kind of seemed like the Warren show, which did work, but then it also kind of led into something that was one of the film's weaknesses. Was I didn't feel any sympathy or any real connection to any of the possessed or the victims of the film. I'm not getting into spoilers or anything like that. I just felt nothing for them. I mean, obviously, what's happening to these people is horrible and whatnot. But as far as film goes, it just really didn't. It didn't connect with me. It didn't grab me. So that was a big letdown. This film did try to change up the formula a bit. Um, I don't want to give away any story beats like I keep saying, but there was definitely more of a courtroom drama vibe to it. A little bit more investigative, like cop film almost. I don't think that's really giving away too much. Um, they took some risks with the story, different approaches, and some worked, some didn't. And I have to applaud them though because taking risks. I'd rather them do that and fail than just try to crank out another cookie cutter horror movie. And that's what has kind of separated the Conjuring films from the rest of the horror universe that we have out there. They really stand out because they take risks, and I applaud them for that. As far as the scares go, there are some genuinely terrifying parts in this movie. Um, as I said before, I think that this franchise is kind of heading in the wrong direction, and they're kind of leaning in towards the big CGI set pieces. Yeah, there was some sort of grounded nature in the first movie, and then there was evidence throughout the second one that was kind of like distancing itself from that, like kind of a gritty realism to it almost. I can't really exactly describe it. I'm not a film scholar, clearly. Some scares definitely landed a lot better than others. Unfortunately, it's sort of dove into that territory that all these other horror movies do nowadays. There's cheap jump scares. Um, really, really weird and almost funny CGI monster or demon ghost designs. If you see it for yourself, I'm sure you'll know when that moment hits. But in total, I do like the movie. I guess I would watch it again, just because I enjoy seeing these two characters do their thing. I'm open to seeing more. I just, I feel like this one, if they did a few things a little bit differently and a little bit better on the execution, it could have been a really, really good installment in the series. But I mean, hey, we always have the first one, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna be making more. These things practically print money, so I highly doubt this is gonna be the end for them. All right, so The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 brews. I would say if you're a fan of this franchise, definitely get out and see it. And plus, on top of it, a good thing for me, I know it was day and date on HBO Max. I am an HBO Max subscriber, but my wife and I were like, fuck that. We live in Jersey, so everything just opened back up. and we went and did a double feature with Conjuring 3 and A Quiet Place Part 2, which is going to be my next review. But yeah, we got to go out and experience it in a movie theater. So if you're comfortable and the area that you live in, if your theaters are open, I would highly recommend going and seeing it and experiencing it in the theater the way it's meant to be seen. Because there's nothing else like it. Watching it on a small screen in your living room, it's convenient, but not the best way to watch a movie. So if you can and you're cool with it, go check it out in the theater. That's it for this one. I'm going to be wearing the same shit in the next video for A Quiet Place Part 2. We'll see you then.